Yolan True and welcome to another exciting day in our galaxy. And while all servers are on maintenance, I want to give you a little preview on what's coming tonight with the newest update. That's Enterprise Part 1. But before I get into it, I just want to say, if you're not a subscriber of my channel yet, please do subscribe. And if you do, then click this little bell and all notifications so that YouTube will inform you that a new video is out. For example, a day like this, because it will not be the only video today. So, as I said, the next update, the 62, will be Enterprise Part 1. And they will bring in some, not so new stuff all around, but some extensions to some things. And so that might be already a little bit on their working over not so much quantity, because they're not putting too much new in with that, because they're just extending one, but we come to that later. Of course, Enterprise is something I was wondering for a long time, why did this topic never come up? I mean, that was one of the series, and they did Lower Decks twice, but they never did Enterprise, and now they do it. Of course, you know the series Enterprise with Captain Archer, and how, so to speak, everything started towards the Federation. And you will definitely remember the third season when the whole thing with the Xindi started. And that's what's coming now. The Xindi are coming. And the Xindi will be part of this X-Borg faction extension. They will introduce new reputation levels. They will introduce favors like you know them already from the Bajorans and now from Section 31. Stuff like this will come to the X-Borg faction. But there's so much around this change that I will just quickly mention it here in this preview video, because there's some more stuff. And later today I will publish a video only on the whole X-Borg thing. It's called Subspace Transmissions, and there you can see in more detail what's going to happen to the X-Borg faction. So I just keep it a little bit shorter in this video by just mentioning it. There will be an extension to the X-Borg faction, and the Xindi will be introduced, but that's what I'm going to talk about later. There will be new buffs, and that will be part of the X-Borg faction as well. And so part of the next video, but there will also be new officers, and maybe a surprise to people, maybe not. Jonathan Archer is not part of it. That starts with 2 new officers, and the one is Epic, and that is Trip Tucker, you know, the chief engineer of the Enterprise. And the other one is First Officer T'Pol. She's a rare officer, but let's talk about Trip for a second. His officer ability is Things Blow Up, and that means when you take damage from a hostile or another player, Trip Tucker decreases the opponent's critical damage by X% for 2 rounds. So it's another one with some PvP possibility, and decreasing stuff is always nice. So we will see if he changes around the PvP crews again. But that's something at this point, before having this officer, I can't tell you. But what is interesting already is, once again, even if he's an Epic officer, he's got no captain's ability. But because of that, he's got a below deck ability that's called Hand in the Cookie Jar. It increases the amount of resources you get from destroying Hirogen and Species 8472 hostiles. And that is nice. So he will, when I get him at some point in this year, he will definitely have a seat in the lower decks of my Voyager in the near future. I know that much already. And then, as I said, we have T'Pol. She also only has an officer ability and a below deck ability, no captain's ability. Her officer ability is Threats Are Illogical, and T'Pol increases protected cargo by X%, depending on her level then. And her below deck ability is Vulcan Hydraulics. T'Pol increases ore mining speed by X%. So I will most probably use her for the protected cargo part when I get her. And as usual, there will be new missions. And The new missions will be about the temporal Cold War of the prime timeline spills over into our own. It will be interesting to see what they do. But they say they pick it up 200 years after the temporal Cold War plotline from season 3, with those alien Nazis. And in present day, the Xindi have just become members of the Federation, but unbeknownst to the Federation, they are being manipulated by the sphere builders, just as they were 200 years before. So that could be a little bit interesting. We know from the series that in the original timeline, the Xindi were part of the Federation, distant future from Archer's view, and they were fighting as a member of the Federation against the sphere builders. And that's why the sphere builders wanted to get a grip of the Xindi and make the Xindi destroy Earth to prevent the creation of the Federation. And now they're trying it again. It will be possibly interesting. There will be 10 new core missions of the Enterprise storyline and 10 new side missions. Of course, everything I'm telling you now in this preview, there will be videos on a lot of it then once it's come out and once I figured out what is working like what and so on, because I don't get any information earlier than you do. I just try to get some stuff together for you so you don't have to read everything yourself. But unfortunately, Scopely doesn't give YouTubers, at least not me, any pre-information or some beta testing, although they could use that. But that's the way it is. So definitely I will make videos again in the next days of the Borg faction. Even if I do the preview today, I will do a video on how it's going with the favors and the reputation and stuff, and how the missions are going, how the Xindi are doing. So there's a lot of videos coming up in the next days that just deals with all the new stuff. And then there's also a new prime node again. That's critical damage floor. The critical hits cannot do less than 100% of normal damage. So that could be a nice one. And there's also a new refit. That's the Borg Cube refit binary cutter. And that one is nice and time saving. It doubles the maximum charge of the Borg cutting beam, allowing it to be used twice before needing to be charged again. Because at the moment I have to charge in one system and fly to another to use it. Because in the system where I'm charging, the enemies are too strong to use the cutting beam. And that, of course, would mean I can stay in one system longer to charge it a bit longer and then fly over and kill 2 hostiles. Would be some time saver, but usually in the beginning, those refits are only there for purchase and not to get them in-game. We will see how this will work. And they are talking already about the Territory Capture Season 2, the Battle Pass and everything, and also the Wave Defense Battle Pass. So, of course, tonight there will be a new Battle Pass as usual. There will be officer shards for Tucker and T'Pol in there. Probably not enough to get them. There might be some side events where you can do more. There will be export currencies in the Battle Pass and so on. That's what they're telling us already. And they are telling us already that, of course, there will be Territory Capture Season again, but they still have not told us when, even not in the announcements today. And they say they will do changes they announced earlier, but they are not telling yet what the changes will be. So they are promising to do it in time so all alliances can plan accordingly for the next season. But at the moment we know nothing still. And of course they announced that there will be another Territory Capture Season Pass, like a new Wave Defense Battle Pass. That will come a bit later, but it will be all at the same time in the end. And so once again, we've got 3 battle passes to pay. So if you want all the rewards, everybody will have to think about if that's worth it. But as I said, this was just supposed to be a quick overview of what's to come tonight. as I said, I don't get more information than you do, so I just can do a TLDR video for you that you don't have to read it all yourself. But if you want to add something or comment on the new battle passes, for example, or have questions or video requests, please write a comment. You know that I always love to read your comments, and I do answer your questions as often as I can. And if you want to see another video right now while you're waiting for my Xborg video, the next video is right here in the end screen. I'll see you there. I'll be back.